어떤 책임지레가 나타날 때까지 잡고 있는 거거든요.
이 문제가 해결됐을 거라는 얘기를 해줍니다. 우리는 그냥 난 깜짝 놀라고 쉬운 거들은 도대체 교육을 내 잘못인데 어떻게 했는지 모르겠는데.
Begin your presentation.
This is my island, Puerto Rico, where the sound of the waves set the pace to our path. It's in our blood, our Latino DNA, a burning rhythm that moves our spirit to serve, to dance for a better future. It's a beat that connects us with the world, especially those in need, like our neighbors in the Dominican Republic. Meet Corpa, who thought that living in these conditions was the best she could achieve, or Augusto, who worked hard for only one meal a day, a meal for his grandson Chiquito, a little boy just starting his life, thinking that this is the safest way to live. Or Yaritza, fighting every day for a decent work, health, safety, education. It moves you, leads you to change, to act, challenge their status quo, to transform their stories, resources, capabilities into permanent and sustainable solutions. What you are going to see today is how 81 individuals work for themselves and by themselves. How they learn about teamwork, discipline, creativity, passion, all to generate measurable outcomes, reaching a secure home, social cohesion, prosperity, food, health, education. Today is not about us, it's about their stories, progress, their victory against poverty and discrimination, their masterpiece, because they are maestros of empowerment.
Good evening, and thanks for letting us share our story. I'm Giuliani, and they are Christian, Ibelis, Yaritza, and Paola. We are Enactus Puerto Rico, a team of 51 students with 4 projects in Puerto Rico and 1 in the Dominican Republic. And this one is the focus of our conversation today, Bottle of Hope, a comprehensive approach to a better life, a mission to empower 81 individuals with a sustainable ecosystem, building not only house reusing a unique technique, reusing 250,000 plastic bottles, but developing a whole community through entrepreneurial actions. To make it happen, we had to be strategic. It was a matter of trust, resilience, hunger, endurance, and hope.
This is not the Dominican Republic that many tourists get to see. This is the other side of the picture, San Juan de la Maguana. That's why it is important to put into perspective the reality of our target audience. According to our assessment, a Dominican peso equals less than 2 cents. The average monthly salary is $135. For a family of 4, the cost of buying grocery is $47 weekly, and a successful business generates an average of $500 monthly. The images speak for themselves. Inhuman housing conditions, no water or electric power, poor health and sanitation. They use the rivers to wash their clothes and a bathroom, provoking a serious environmental damage. Even worse, they live in a landfill without proper education and nutrition, no job opportunities that provoke a hostile and unproductive environment.
With this reality, we question the self. Are these people truly capable? Many unfulfilled promises, many years living that way. Unquestionably, gaining their trust was key.
That's why 5 of our team members invested a whole year interacting with them, educating them, promoting literacy and health practices, identifying the key persons to lead the business venture. We also designed and identified the assets, plus the economic sources to conceive a plan that will ensure a secure home for each of the families and a productive ecosystem for a sustainable living.
From this process, a cohesive community emerged, and together they created a legal entity with a board to manage their ventures in 6 acres of flat and fertile land that we bought to build their community and empower them to run all of the initiatives.
To assure their involvement, they signed a participation agreement in which each family agreed to actively participate in the process. The outcome, a solid structure, a network to produce a sustainable community, following the principles of the United Nations Global Goal 11.
Let's see the process which led us this year to provide 16 families a safe roof and a better life, beginning with the sustainability basis until seeing the project completion with the construction of the bottle houses built by the hands of this community.
It all started with an entrepreneurial spark and a religious, resilient spirit. An old man
who has 8 children and a wisdom that comes from the struggles of life. 40 years ago, he lost everything, and that's what led him to El Berrinche, where he had given up. But when we started with the business seminars, he actively participated, and his entrepreneurial skills and abilities were obvious. He just needed a little push to set him back on track.
Learning about the business canvas model, he started questioning himself. There are more than 200 families in the area that can't eat a single meal per day just because buying groceries in the zone costs $47 weekly out of a family's budget.
What if we could create a better system to sell food? We helped Elia open Colmado Santa Rosa, a grocery store whose competitive advantage is that he sells food by units, saving families 55% of their weekly food expenses. He had tackled the purchasing part of the zone, serving almost 100 families daily, giving them a place to assure at least 2 balanced meals per day. This year, Elia come from just earning $78 in the first quarter to more than 1,000 quarterly, generating 2 jobs.
The triple outcome. People, 200 families have now a better meal once a day. Profit, a replicable business with a great impact over families' budget. Planet, suitable provision for 30,000 pounds of food.
Resilience is the ability to recover from misfortune. Elias, the best role model.
Bueno, en el colmado o en los negocios, yo tengo experiencia para yo vivir y darle a otro, porque sé de números, sé de administración y estoy preparado para eso. Yo tengo un título ahí que no lo cumplí. Ese fue ganado.
The best part of Elia's story is that his hunger to succeed inspired others to crave for more. And that brought us to Augusto, father of 12, a farmer with a salary that barely reached $40 a month, a man of few words, respected by his community, with the experience and mindset to lead effectively.
According to our research, his profile was almost equal to other men who saw agriculture as a way to generate income. 72% of them have agriculture experience, and this zone has the most fertile land in the country.
How could we ignore these facts? Having already 5 acres of land for this venture, and with their experience, an agribusiness was meant to happen. But who would lead this? We invited Daniel Ramos, a local food distributor, to teach 20 men how to run an agribusiness based on industry standards and market expectations. We thought how to manage the functional areas of a business, finance, operations, and marketing. During the whole process, Augusto emerged as a natural leader.
With him, we designed the business plan for the harvest, an agro-business for the farming and distribution of vegetables and legumes. Daniel Ramos trusted him and provided the seed money to start the produce and agreed to buy the first crop.
Augusto led 19 men to cultivate corn, peanuts, and pigeon peas. We required him weekly reports and established business and financial goals, thus generating quickly results.
They are selling 100% of the harvest, reaching this year a steady income of $4,000 quarterly, which certainly compares with its competitors. For the farmers, a better pay, which enhanced their nutrition and living conditions. In Augusto's family, $150 added to the household income and an additional meal a day.
The harvest gained the trust of the food distributors, adding sweet potatoes and cassava to the crops for total earnings of nearly $20,000 in its first year of operation.
All sustainability aspects were attained. People, we enhanced the living conditions of 20 men. Profit, a suitable business and income. Planet, we properly used 5 acres of land. Augusto had hunger for a better life for his people. To achieve it, he used his talents.
The harvest will be the backbone for a drastic change. Women desire a role in the community. It may seem natural, but in this community, women have to fulfill their traditional role, be a mother and a wife without any chance to evolve. In fact, the proportion of illiterate women was greater than men, and 70% became pregnant at an early age. Integrating them into the process was a challenge, but essential to achieve an equitable community.
By being the role model and sharing our experience, we taught them to be strategic, discover their potential, and make their opinion valuable. Yaritza, raised her voice. A fearless woman, a single mother that by cleaning houses hardly generated about $35 a month. With the abilities and great interest of obtaining a university degree, she took the lead and provoked 3 other women to join her in the process. We call this endurance.
They dared to create a clothing store, and we just ignite the flame by giving them a 25-hour hands-on course on business topics such as finance, marketing, and customer service. Together, we did a market analysis, discovering that their budget could only afford used clothes.
Having Teresa as manager, they opened En Moda, a second-hand store for the sale and distribution of clothes. Using the Canvas model, they proposed their company plan. We trusted their strategies, giving them the seed money and the clothes from Puerto Rico to add a competitive advantage. Also, we'll send an agreement with hotels and universities in the area to supply clothing and operate in their grounds. The women strategically decided to open twice a month, close to paydays, and use an economic pricing strategy to reinforce their competitive position. The result has been consistent. More than 1,000 pounds of clothes were not thrown away. $2,000 generated each quarter, 4 times more than the direct competitors.
This was reflected in the income generated by each woman, $160 monthly, which is almost 20% above the equivalent salary in the region, giving them the opportunity to evolve.
Yaritza has now the income to afford a better life for her son and invest in herself. Pursuing a bachelor's degree in education, she is a role model to other women and a key person for the development of the literacy program in the community.
En Moda was a direct challenge to this community culture. Men were initially intimidated and showed resistance, but the cleverness of the women linked with their outcomes gained their respect. 5 women started working at the harvest, or 25 created their own business ventures, and 15 decided to be part of the construction of the bottle houses.
Our impact. People, we achieve gender equality. Profit, a productive and prosperous network. Planet, 3,000 pounds of textiles reuse. This was a turning point. Now every community member has a voice and a productive role. Yaritza showed their endurance produces equitable communities.
Bueno, antes yo era, mira, de verdad que yo pasaba mucho trabajo, de verdad que sí, con la universidad. Había semestres que me quedaba afuera porque no podía comprar mi libro y ahora lo puedo comprar.
Having a secure home and a sustainable living is the hope of any human being, and we have proven that these families have worked hard to achieve it.
Providing a safe roof brought us to this community, but they needed more than a house. They needed to build a community, and they did it. Now, they were ready to build their houses. Ironically, the raw material was garbage. Over 250,000 plastic bottles thrown in their landfills are now being put together to provide them a secure home and a suitable community.
Safe, it is a house that resists tropical weather conditions with a strong base, steady columns, electric power, plumbing, secure roof, and strong walls. With a little twist, bricks are replaced with plastic bottles, a process that we designed, tested, and got approval thanks to the in-kind services of an engineer and a contractor.
We work hard to raise the funds through several funding strategies. Also, the community contributed economically in the process, assigning 20% from their ventures to the building funds. To provoke a sense of ownership, they were also responsible for the human capital.
So we educated at least one member of each family on how to build structures with this technique. And to put it in practice, they built a community center, our training space, that also served as base for the literacy program for 50 adults, the tutoring program for 55 children, and a health clinic for the whole city.
This year, 16 families worked together over 21,000 hours, building their own houses fully equipped, a construction that reduced the pollution on the river by 30%, providing soil and clean air.
A technique that reduced their space in their landfills by 55 cubic meters and CO2 by 33%. For many years, these families live in heartless conditions without hope of ever changing their reality. Now, they are empowered, and we honored to present our most meaningful outcomes.
From living in an occupied land to owning a safe roof, from just earning $35 to reaching a steady income of around $132 with 3 sustainable ventures, from 95% barely eating 1 meal a day to 81% enjoying a more balanced nutrition.
From suppression to 82% of women contributing in economic development, achieving gender equality. From tainted natural resources to potable water, clean air, and soil. With a literacy program, a health clinic, and a training center for the whole city.
El grupo Enactus ha trabajado, ha hecho el trabajo que muchos creyeron que no se iba a hacer un trabajo excelente, porque tiene bien la condición en que viven esos ranchitos, pero aquí hay otra cosa diferente, aquí tienen baño, aquí yo veo a los muchachos bañando en el baño acá, agua por todos lados, y todo en el mismo ambiente, cuando uno vive ahora a como uno vivía allá, está en una casa linda.
From being isolated and rejected to an inclusive, equitable, and sustainable community. Comunidad de Esperanza, Amor y Paz. A mind-blowing experience
that changes the pace of our lives and their lives.
New leading voices with a beat that overcame all limitations.
A rhythm that connects them with others, a sound and solid community.
16 families, 16 secure houses, 16 global goals advanced. A new melody for the Contreras family. Masters of the harvest with an inclusive leadership and a sustainable income.
An Angela Stemfo who moved women into the construction process and developed a takeout food business. Rico, Rico, Rico.
And Alpha, a girl following her father's footsteps as an entrepreneur, helped with the literacy program and now pursuing an academic degree.
These are only 3 out of 16 families. We truly develop a sustainable community, ensuring no one is left behind.
Bottle of Hope is proof that when you empower people to explore and use their talents, you help build a better future for us all.
Yo soy dueño de un pulmón. Yo hago los mejores jabones.
Yo soy maestra. Yo soy dueña del mundo.
Yo soy gallero.
Yo cocino rico, rico y soy cocinera.
This is their new reality, their new rhythm, a masterpiece.
This is Enactus Puerto Rico.
Stronger and louder for our island.
Thank you to the team from Puerto Rico. Judges, you may now begin the question and answer period.
Great job, guys. 2 quick questions. You purchased 5 acres of land for this community. Is there a cost recovery element in your planning? That's one. Then your program covered quite a number of things. What are the top 3 lessons that you've distilled from this journey and this process that you can apply in other situations and communities? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Because of the land for building the projects was $60,000, and yes, the angel investors give us $36,000. With the funding strategies, recovered $16,000, and also we get a loan of $10,000, and that was totally repaid with the first quarter from the La Cosecha venture from the community.
Aside for the lessons, I think the first one, it would be breaking gender equality first. I think we saw it throughout the time we were working to gain their trust, and I think it would have been a thing if we had worked on it at the beginning, it would be more faster. But we did because we had the women working from day one. Second lesson, how we raise the funds. We did a lot of funding strategies, people to people, and we could have used the internet to raise funds. You know, it would be more approachable, and the project could have been seen more internationally. And I think second, it was not actually in our hands. When the construction started, they had a problem that they cannot use the dirt and to keep constructing the houses. And I think it's finding distributors specifically of that, because when they had that problem, it actually made it hard, and we had a little 1 month without building the houses. So I think those are the 3 greatest lessons we actually had with them. Oh, and integrating the kids. Definitely, the kids, you don't know how much help they are. They give the vibe, they give everything. So it's really important to integrate kids first.
congratulations on your projects. I'm curious who's the owner of the houses you have built and who's the owner of the land? And also the second question is related to clinic. Who operates the clinic? Who takes responsibility for that?
Okay, the land, the owners of the land are themselves. At the beginning, what we did, and we did not want this to be an Enactus project. At the end of the day, we have to retire from the community. They created a community board and they established a whole board by themselves, and they are the owners of the land. And strategically, what we did, so they created this sense of ownership for their houses. They decided actually to pay the 120 pesos of the Dominican Republic to contribute to the community growth. In this way, they will be doing this for 5 years. They're paying for the houses, and once this 5 years finish, it's not going to be the community houses. It's going to be their own houses.
And thank you. And for the other part with the health clinic, it's right now being attended from the health clinic government part. Right now we have visits twice weekly, and they're attending about 60 people weekly in the clinic.
It's really important to add on the clinic. It is just not only helping the community, it's helping the whole zone in San Juan de Herrera.
Now, a wonderful and great project. How can we scale it? What is preventing you from scaling it? Because $60,000 not all the time will be available.
That's true. It's not the project that could be scalable. Each of the ventures can be scalable. And as best example, we have right now Eligios La Placita. It's being replicated by one of the women she's selling chicken, and you can see that the Placita was replicated by her. Secondly, the harvest actually was a great project, and the way they operated, one of the distributors approached two of the men so they can operate the distributors harvest. And thirdly, in Moda, I think the impact of the women was amazing, honestly. Women had great ideas, and it helped them create other ventures like selling ice cream, sewing, a parlor shop, even barbers. And thirdly, the Bottle of Hope project itself. Other people of the zone have approached demand so they can build fences, balcony, even all the rural houses. This is producing jobs.
Your time has expired.
Sorry.
Judges, please join me in thanking the team from Puerto Rico, University of Puerto Rico, Bayamón. Judges, this concludes the final round of competition. Please use the yellow cumulative evaluation form to rank the final 4 teams in order from first to fourth. Additional time will be provided should you still need to complete